There are about 30,000 different parts that make up an average car, and I know what you're thinking, Shirley. Each one is meticulously designed to serve a very important role. Not so, and don't call me Shirley. Sometimes designers and engineers too like to hide little things just for shits and giggles. Hey guys, I'm Stype, and this is all the automotive Easter eggs and quirky little hidden features ever. Let's get hunting. Starting with the Dodge Ram TRX. Open the hood, take off the airbox cover, and look what we have here. It's a T-Rex eating a Raptor, which is a clear shot at the Ram's fiercest competitor, the Raptor F-150. I guess that alone wasn't enough, so Dodge also hid this handy little scale at the bottom of the center cubby. It shows you how big your truck is compared to a human, a T-Rex, and of course, the Raptor, which by the way, is puny. But then, the Hummer joined the fight. It's got an option to control auxiliary equipment like lights, horns, fridges, and whatnot through on-screen buttons, which is nothing new. But the selection of icons that can be assigned to these buttons is what's noteworthy here. This one shows a Hummer being the comet that killed both the T-Rex and the Raptor. Here it's kicking dust into the T-Rex's ugly face. Or how about this one, where it's driving over a Cybertruck? Can they do that? You could also choose a space shuttle icon, but what's fun about that?
Nothing.
Mercedes and BMW have been hiding jabs at each other too. Nowadays, they both have their AI personalities that you can talk to. So if you ask, what do you think about BMW or Mercedes? You'll get this answer.
Same as you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting in here.
Now that's how classy brands do the rivalries. Also, if you do have a Mercedes, check the bottom of your windshield. Sometimes there's the signature of Carl Benz or Gottlieb Daimler. Who? The founding fathers of the company. Scribbling on windshields is a very popular trick when it comes to hiding Easter eggs. The Jaguar E-Pace has a Mama Jag and a cub strolling in the corner. Those are supposed to be the bigger F and the smaller E-Pace SUVs. Jeeps have the old Army Willies, a boy with a telescope, a Bigfoot, and even a Loch Ness Monster hidden right in front of your eyes. And I'm just getting started with Jeeps. These guys really go all out when it comes to Easter eggs. Like, check out this paintball splatter on the rev counter instead of the usual red line marking, because paintball is the favorite weekend activity of the Jeep design team. Or on the start-stop button it says, "To new adventures!" Also, for some reason, a gecko here, a ladybug there, and an Italian chow baby spider under the fuel filler flap on the Renegade. Why Italian? Because the Renegade is built in Italy in the same factory as the Fiat 500X. The Avenger is Italian too, which explains the secret compass and coordinates to turn. On the other hand, Gladiator loves the fact that it's homegrown. See this 419 on the edge of the bed? That's the area code for Toledo, Ohio, where you guessed it, the Gladiator is built. Many other models also have a topographical map of Moab, Utah, which is the place every Jeep owner should go at least once in a lifetime. It's like their Mecca or something. And now, the famous Jeep 7-slit grille detail. Here, 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 and even here, inside the real grill. Yo dog, I heard you like grills, so we've put a grill inside the grill. But that's enough about Jeeps. An often cited Easter egg is hidden inside the Ford GT's left headlight. Look closer and you'll notice that it resembles the number 100, which this car was made to celebrate 100 years of Ford. But then the other one says 001, so Turns out those are not supposed to be numbers at all. The guy who designed it busted the whole hidden meaning myth.
No, I never heard anything like that.
And yet, if you Google automotive Easter eggs, every article will be mentioning it. Stop it! Meanwhile, these McLaren headlights are hiding something for real, their logo shape. The taillights of the Aston Martin Vanquish look kind of like those wings on their logos too. And lastly, I'm going to be a bit of a Captain Obvious here and point out to the 0.001% who didn't get it, the taillights on the new Mini are the UK flag, the Union Jack. But the Mini does have a logo Easter egg somewhere else, on the climate controls. You seen this? Are you really going to tell me that this is purely accidental right here? It could have been like this or like that, but no, they made it look like the Mini logo. Also, the new GR Supra has many BMW logos hidden all over the place. Whatever's the meaning of that. I'm joking, of course. Here's a proper Toyota egg for you. Hidden inside the Yaris's infotainment system, there's something called the Glass of Water Challenge, which forces you to drive smoothly so that you don't spill a drop of digital water out of the digital glass. It's a nod to the same challenge from the initial D anime, where the protagonist is behind the wheel of the AE86 Corolla. About that car, it inspired the modern GT86 successor, and if you think that the AE GT is all the 86 there is to it, you're wrong. The bore and stroke of the cylinders on the new car are also 86 millimeters. The inside diameter of the exhaust tips, 86 millimeters again. Coincidence? Why, I think not. Where there's absolutely no doubt at all is what happened with the Mazda RX-8. It has a rotary engine, and the Mazda designers wanted everyone to know this, so the distinctive rotor shape is found here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Hidden shapes are also found in the Dodge Viper too. It has an outline of the Laguna Seca and the Nürburgring racetracks in its interior, both very famous tracks where the Viper managed to break lap records. The Chrysler 200 has floor mats with the Detroit skyline, the famous Motown where Chrysler is based, and the Pacific has shapes of other minivans that pretty much kept them in business. The whole lineage thing can be found inside the Ram 1500 too, and once you're done with the history lesson, it's time for a math one. Underside of the Ram center console lid has some trigonometry equations and conversion tables. Honda also engaged in the Easter egg game. If you have a 2016 US market Civic, take out this rubber spill mat, turn it over, and you'll find one of 4 different designs showing Honda jets, bikes, race cars, or even the Asimo robot. Pretty cool. Now, the F-150 Raptor took a lot of beating from the TRX, so did they ever fire back? Nah, they kinda took a shot at their own. For the second generation, Raptor ditched the V8 for an EcoBoost V6, and as you might imagine, this didn't go well with their fans. So when the V8 was brought back, they signaled it with this Easter egg pattern. You think those are some reptile scales? Look closer. They're the number 8s. And here's the V too. Yes, I'll get to the Tesla stuff, but first let's mention some random mags too. Volvo XC90 has seat belts with "since 1959" written on them. To say, that's right, we invented them. In that same XC90, there's also a spider underneath the 3rd row trash lid. That piece of plastic needed some web-looking ribbing to make it more structurally stiff, so while they're at it, the engineers decided to add a little spider too. The son of Opel designer once thought it would be cool to have a shark hidden somewhere in the car, so his dad placed it on the side of the glove box. Since then, hiding sharks has become a tradition for all future Opel models, and they can also be found in their rebadged version too, like this Buick Regal, which is an Opel insignia really. The horn of the Plymouth Roadrunner sounds like, wait for it, the Roadrunner bird from the Looney Tunes. The latest Corvette LT6 engine has a little rockin' on it, which is a nod to when all the Apollo astronauts got black and gold Corvettes as a gift, turning them into, unofficially, official astronaut cars. Some Mustangs have a ground speed written on the bottom of the speedometer. Why? Well, it has to do with what really inspired the Mustang name. Officially, it's Mustang the horse, which is the symbol of the Free Spirit West, but really it's the Mustang P-51 World War II fighter plane, of which the Ford designer was a huge fan. So as opposed to airspeed, there is now ground speed. The Renault Twingo Sport Cup has these cool pause, stop, play pedals, which were later copied onto the Volkswagen ID cars. It's said that if you press all 3 at once, your car will take a screenshot. Also, the ID Buzz has many little buzzies all over itself. It's like a pestilence of biblical proportions. What else? The Dodge Challenger has a cup holder in the engine bay for when, you're working on your engine or just plain fixing it. Bit of a stretch, but the underside of the Jag F-Type hood looks a bit like their Growler logo. And there's a Z shape on the side of the BMW Z4. Doesn't work when looked at from the other side. Like I said, it's a stretch that both of these were intentional. And I know that these aren't proper Easter eggs, but they're hidden and so cool that I figured why not mention them. Skoda puts a handy ice scraper on the inside of their fuel filter cap. Also an umbrella inside the door, just like Rolls-Royce. But, what's this little windshield clip? Well, that's for your highway tickets, or speeding tickets, if you're particularly proud of them and want to show them off.
Nice.
Lucid has a small bear, the symbol of California on the seats, which is kind of boring, and now the Tesla. I wouldn't say they pioneered Easter eggs, but they sure took it to a whole new level. Basically, if Elon is a fan of something, there will be a nod to it in one of their cars at least. For example, Musk is a fan of Rick and Morty, even appearing in one episode. So if you say keep summer safe, it will turn on the Sentry mode, which starts recording everything around the car.
Ship, keep summer safe.
Open butthole will open the charging port. It's a nod to Beavis and Butthead. The volume and climate controls go to 11 as a reference to the Spinal Tap movie.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
You can also turn the image of your car to look like the 007 submarine Lotus, which Elon bought in an auction. And you can also replace your navigation map to show the surface of Mars, because Elon wants to go there with his SpaceX rocket, etc., etc., etc. There are also references to Monty Python, Back to the Future,
1.21 gigawatts,
Spaceballs,
ludicrous speed, go!
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Mario Kart, Dragon Ball Z,
It's over 9,000! What?
Santa mode, Doggy mode, Romance mode. There are so many hidden things that there's an entire Wikipedia page about them. My favorite ones are the Sketchpad, where you can draw pretty patterns and submit them to Tesla to evaluate your art. Sometimes Musk would even publish some sketches on his Twitter account. Another one is how you can make the Model X dance and do the whole light show to the tune of Wizards in Winter by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And lastly, an Easter egg that doesn't exist. Some dude made it up, but it basically goes that if you press both charging ports at the same time, like you're hugging the car from behind, a little heart will light up. Made up, but still believable enough to make hundreds of Tesla fans all over the world dry hump their cars. Anyway, that's it for today. Go watch something else, and I'll see you in the next one.